Good morning, good morning, good morning. Reverend Dr. Mary Whitney here with our 276th day together. And the topic I have chose for what I've written especially for you is, why have you been hiding? Sometimes I look at the world around us and wonder, where are we going? There are so many ideas about where we came from. Why are we here? And what happens when this life is over? Some people believe one thing, others believe something completely different. And I've learned that when using epistemic humility, it requires me to recognize something very important. I don't know everything. I don't have to pretend that I do either. I can believe deeply while still respecting the fact that other people may see the world differently than I do. I've had conversation with people who believe we came into existence through what is commonly called the Big Bang Theory. And sometimes I simply ask, but what if there is a God? Not as an argument, not as an attempt to prove someone wrong, just as a question. Because questions can open doors that arguments sometimes close. What is there when we say, I choose God? What does that really mean? What if life is not all there is? I'm meaning this current life we're living. What if our physical bodies are temporary, but our existence has a dimension we cannot fully see or understand? I choose to believe there is something beyond this life, but I also recognize that I cannot prove every mystery surrounding eternity. I can't. And so I want us to sit up straight. I'm going to ask that we give ourselves a gentle hug, and I'm going to ask us to take 3 deep breaths together. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Another deep breath in. Deep breath out. Yes. That is where faith enters for me. Faith does not require me to know everything. It invites me to trust what I believe while remaining humble enough about what I do not know and being all right with that. But then I have another question. Remember, I said questions are all right. Why have you been hiding? Maybe you aren't hiding from God. Maybe you're hiding from yourself. Maybe you've become afraid of acknowledging what you really feel. Maybe you've allowed shame to convince you that your circumstances define you. Maybe you've been so busy surviving that you haven't had time to ask what your soul actually needs. I've had people reach out to me and share some of the things they are going through. I've learned something important about being there for people. Sometimes people don't need us to tell them what to do. Sometimes they need someone willing to listen. I've become more careful about giving my opinion. Not because I don't have one either, right? But because I have learned that another person's life is not mine to control. You have the right to feel what you feel. You have the right to believe what you believe. You have a right to wrestle with your own questions. I can tell you what the Lord has done in my journey. I can tell you what faith has meant to me. But I don't have to force my experience on you. When I'm listening, really listening, I listen while respecting what I'm hearing, showing compassion, and using my faith to connect with others. That to me is true connection. And perhaps that is one of the greatest things that we can offer another human being. A safe place to be heard without being judged. If you ever find yourself hiding because you believe you are not enough, I want you to remember something at that moment. You matter more than the condition you may currently find yourself in. Your circumstances is not your entire identity. It's not. Your mistakes are not your entire identity. Your pain is not your entire identity. Your past is not your entire identity. And even if you're currently uncertain, it does not mean that uncertainty is the final word about your future. It does not. I have some questions for you to reflect upon. Think about this. What are you hiding from yourself? What happens if you or I allowed ourselves to acknowledge what we truly feel? Ask yourself, am I listening to understand or listening to respond? It will make a difference in how you're hearing what you're hearing. Yes, it will. Can I allow someone else to have a different belief without feeling threatened by it? Ask yourself that. Who might need me to simply listen today? Who might need you to just do that? And what would it look like for me to stop hiding and begin being more authentic? And as you learn to move forward, honesty plus compassion plus listening plus faith equals freedom to be seen. Lord, thank you for reminding me that I don't have to have all the answers. Thank you for teaching me that faith and humility can exist together. Thank you for every person who has trusted me enough to share your story. Help me listen before I speak. Help me understand before I judge. Help me to remember that everyone I meet is carrying something I may know nothing about. And when I am tempted to hide, remind me that I am still worthy of love, of connection, and of purpose. I may not know everything about tomorrow. I may not know everything about eternity. And you know what? But this is one thing that I do know. The Lord has been good to me, and I just cannot tell it all. So I'm going to keep walking. I'm going to keep listening. I'm going to keep learning. and I'm going to keep believing. Be blessed today, and remember, don't allow stress to consume the very life you are still being given. You matter. Your life matters. Your story matters. And there may still be chapters waiting to be written. I write every day. And I especially wrote this message for each and every one of you who are willing to listen, to hear it, and to feel it. And I thank everyone who have subscribed, who have liked, and who have commented even on our YouTube channel or shared it with someone else. We're building community here. Let's take 3 more deep breaths together. Breathe in peace. As you blow out stress, breathe in acceptance. As you blow out judgment, breathe in faith and hope. As you blow out fear, I'll see you tomorrow on day 277, the Lord willing, I always say. Thank you so much. Love yourself, hug yourself, and be safe. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.